Better than Lego. Better than Lego.
Matthew Johns is in position for a long-range shot. He's with it now, Matthew Johns. Here goes the kick from Johns.
Welcome to the Johns Family Podcast. Wow, I don't know about you people, but I'm a little bit exhausted. Feeling a little bit weak today. It might be the change of seasons. Who knows? Well, it could be the excitement of State of Origin, maybe even a little bit of both, because oftentimes when you're feeling a little bit tired, not quite yourself, can be numerous contributing factors.
I think it's the cold. Those cold mornings.
I'm working a lot too. It might be the creative stuff. Yeah, I've nailed it. Change of seasons, excitement, State of Origin, creative juices. Make Matty a tired boy. Family, how are you?
I'm going good, Big M. How are you?
I'm quite energetic.
Really good, man.
Yeah?
I'm going good.
Jack, how are you? More importantly.
I'm well, Coop. I'm well. Well.
That's good. That's great to
Well.
hear. Anything else? You're always very interesting, Jack.
What else? So we'll get into our week in a second, but
But
yeah,
what?
Trish, you
What?
Look, people, this is, I don't want to cause controversy straight at the top, but I think Trish is taking steroids. She's been going to the gym. She's been
6
pumping
times.
some iron.
And she's been letting loose protein farts.
Oh, that's classified.
Mate, my nose is
information.
ready to drop off.
As I said, it hurts me more than it hurts you.
Really?
Well, I'll contest that. Honestly, we're driving through Warriewood and I was just admiring the view on the right of the ocean there, and all of a sudden this poltergeist hit me in the face. It wasn't a smell, people. It was an entity. It just crawled over my body.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you for that contribution, Jack. Yeah.
What, do you think girls don't fart?
Yeah.
No, well,
Because let me assure you, they do.
no. Well, there's that controversy that they thought Kim Jong-un didn't
Yeah.
poo for a long time.
No, he didn't poo. He never poos
Yeah.
or pees.
Doesn't poo or pee?
They think that?
Yep, and he controls dolphins with his mind.
Yeah.
Does he?
Apparently, allegedly. They say he works so hard that he doesn't need to put, like, he just works off all the poo, so he
my
doesn't need to go to
God.
the toilet.
Wow.
That's one hell of a metabolism.
It's ironic that I think he's full of shit.
Oh,
Why don't we get into this first question we've got? Which, as you're introduced, if you were a cooking show, Big M, what would you be named and why?
The original and the best. It's called Come and Get It with Peter Russell Clark. Where's the cheese? He used to do that. Where is the cheese from last week? That used to be his thing.
I had cheese.
And there was an old cameraman that I used to work with who used to shoot Peter Russell Clark. And if you go on YouTube, there's his offcuts. It's so funny. Going, okay, well, here we go. Oh, what a bloke. Love Peter Russell Clark.
Trish?
Me, I'd go kitchen closed. Cooking shows just make me hungry.
Sorry, what's it called? Kitchen closed.
Yeah, kitchen's closed.
Okay.
Cooking shows make me hungry. I don't watch them.
Okay.
I
Doesn't-
honestly can tell you I don't watch them.
Kind of defeats the purpose of the question.
Yeah.
Well, not really,
You
because I
do-
think that's a good title.
You do this a lot. You come up with these questions and then you proceed to
Shut
go
them
at
down.
them. Yeah.
But Cooper, it's not about me. It's about what you guys contribute.
Okay.
Shannon and all. Jack, what about you?
I went with my kitchen rules, Coop, because it has a little bit of me and my roommate Jill were discussing earlier. Because they go to other people's kitchens, there's a bit of bitching and fighting that goes on between kitchens and between couples. So it's quite good, quite entertaining to watch.
Okay. I had a little play on words. I had the Great Australian Snake Off, where basically, obviously, based on the Great Australian Bake Off, but they go around Australian states and they pick one male from each state who has a large penis, and they battle each other in a Bake Off.
I like it. So in the nude.
In the nude, yeah.
Wow.
Snake off.
Which I thought was interesting.
We'll
Well,
get
while
to...
we're talking about
Their
nude,
snakes cook the food.
yeah, I was thinking snakes doing lots of different things, but anyway.
When we get to talking about Cooper and Jack's week, I just want to take him to task over what happened on the Colin Jackie Ocean. We'll get to that. But, yeah.
Okay. Okay, don't know where you're going with it. We're not at our week yet. Why don't we start with your week?
Yeah, Trish, we had a good weekend.
We had a big weekend. We went over to the east. Mate, I'm loving the young men from the east. Remember the other day I was at the Roosters?
Sorry?
I'm
Sorry?
loving the
Excuse
young
me.
men.
Are you Kate Sobrano? Young man are my
No,
weakness.
We went and watched the footy before dinner. We went to the Coogee Bay Hotel and we watched the footy. And we shared a table. We asked if we could join this young man sitting on his own, young Will. He was the most delightful young man.
You got a little
Wasn't
bit
he?
worried when I threw my keys in here.
Oh, stop it! No, he was lovely. So, yeah.
Well, I tell you,
I'm loving the young man
what
from
about
the East.
what about the dudes on the other table? That was an interesting table. Interesting cats. There was the old Gypsy Fighter from East London. Remember
Yes.
the guy kept coming up? Biggest hands I've ever seen. And a South African fellow who'd been a rugby union player in South Africa but came to Australia because he was barred from playing due to the apartheid regime. Had photos with him and Nelson Mandela. It was very, very interesting. You know, in the 60s, 70s and early 80s, there are a lot of South African players who played rugby league in England because of apartheid. They weren't allowed to play in South Africa. Guys like Green Vigo and things like that. I asked him and he knew Green Vigo. But the old Gypsy Fighter, right, you know how he just kept coming up and talking?
Yeah.
He was punished. Right.
Don't say that.
He was a punt. He just kept going, mate, you know, and we're going away, and I'm going, geez. Anyway, as I was leaving, he came up, he apologised, and he said, mate, I'm sorry, mate. You know what I'm going on. You know why I'm rambling. And he was a fair age. Would have been like late 60s.
Oh,
And he
even older,
And he
maybe.
tapped his nose and goes, yeah, you know, I've been doing a bit of that. And I said, mate, is that really? I said, should you really be doing it at that age? He goes, no, I shouldn't. But, you know, I've been doing it for so long, I can't give it up.
No, we're going to have to edit that.
No, we won't.
Yes, we will.
How are we going to have to edit
No.
that? Why?
We won't have to edit that.
What's wrong? You didn't name him. He hasn't shamed him.
Trisha, which we will get to in a minute, the Kyle and Jackie O show. When I jumped on that with Cooper, mate, the stuff they talk about on there is honestly makes us look like
That is true.
romper room.
That is very true.
What about the? What were you talking about? The what are they called? Fleshlights. I thought you were going on there to talk about sport.
I was, and then next minute I had a pocket pussy, as they're referred to as, a fleshlight, in my hand that was handed to me, and it had. I'm pretty sure it'd been used.
Ew.
I'm pretty sure it'd been used because it was weathered. It wasn't one of those nice looking ones.
Would have been Pete. Yeah.
Yeah, could have been Pete, could have been Kyle.
Intern Pete or Brooklyn. They, I was sitting there on my award-winning radio show on SEN, and I just kept getting calls, and I'm going, "What is this? Telemarketing, the weird number." So finally, I text Coop and said, "Mate," and he called me, and I said, "I'll call you back in 2 minutes." Well, next minute, I was on the Kyle and Jackie O show, unbeknownst to me, and I thought it was like the show was finished. And I said, "How'd you go, Coops?" And then Kyle jumped in and goes, "Yeah." You know, George. "Oh, how you going? Listen, I was just asking Cooper, who's got the bigger dick, you or Joey?" And he said you. But your father, Cooper's pop, Gary, he reckons like he's got the biggest dick in Cessnock. They're going to build a statue of it. When he walks through the snow, it's like 3 feet. And I was like, my God.
Yeah, I don't know how they get away with some of that stuff on there. Obviously, there's tougher guidelines on radio. That's something else I learned. There's different guidelines for radio, for different radio stations and for podcasting.
Is
You know
there?
that? Yeah.
I thought it was all the same.
No, it's not. It's all different. Podcasting, you
Did
can
they
get
have
away
to
with basically
explain that to
anything.
you? Did they, Coop?
No, I was listening to another radio show, which I don't want to name, don't want to plug.
Well, I mean, with the Colin and Jackie show, they've got a person there with the button that just beep.
No, they don't
Oh.
dump. Because I said, "Can I swear?" And they said, "If you want," but like it makes her life a little bit easier. And there's this poor woman over to the side.
If you
She
don't.
just waved. She looked like she hadn't slept in 7 hours. She looked like they've been there all morning. Kyle just swears every second word. So she just has to quickly. They're obviously a little bit on delay, so she can just beep it out.
Oh, wow.
They don't even dump it. They just beep beep. It's pretty funny.
What was some of the other stuff they were talking about on there?
What else was there?
The stuff that you said when you listened to the other day, because you've been listening to the show, getting a little bit of a feel for it.
I've been getting a feel for it. Kyle surprised Jackie by getting her beautician on and had her describe, because Jackie's obviously recently divorced, so she's on the
2
dating app.
years.
Oh, is it 2 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
That goes quick though.
Yeah, 2 years.
COVID.
really.
No,
Okay.
she's ready to get back in the dating scene.
Well, obviously, because she's been on dating apps, and he got her beautician in to describe her vagina and asshole to the listeners, and was making her rate it out of 10.
Oh my God.
And she said 9.5, and then he goes, okay, so where's the 0.5? What's wrong with it?
Where's the loss?
And then asked if she had a pink anus or one of those brown stained ones. And she said brown stained, not knowing which was the better one. And then Kyle just managed to target any insecurity that is very good.
Remember people used to bleach their anus?
Yeah. Yeah.
That can't be good for you.
I think it.
Matthew?
Like, that's highly sensitive skin.
Look, Trish,
the absorption into your bloodstream. It'd be dangerous. Bleach.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good.
Cooper, keeping with the arsehole theme, was describing last night how to shelf
Oh, yes. An anti-inflammatory.
anti-inflammatory and antibiotics.
Yeah.
And he said in the anus, when you put the finger up there is literally a shelf or a ledge,
On the
so
side.
to speak, that you just push it in.
It's what the... Okay. I didn't know this was going to come on the podcast.
Hang on a second. Don't tell me you're taking the higher ground now.
No, there is a little bit. And it's... I don't know if there's a ledge there, but it was described to me when I first did the anti-inflammatory. Pop it on the ledge. And I said, what's the ledge? And Shandor said, pop it up.
Shandor.
Pop it up to like that mid-knuckle range or just before that mid-knuckle.
Jesus.
Well, I'm looking at your fingers.
Mid-knuckle.
You got ET fingers.
Look at this. And then just sort of arch your finger and just pretend like you're just popping it over
Send
to
it
the
off
side.
it to the side.
Just pop it over there. And it
Because
literally...
otherwise, it'll just slip straight
Like
out.
climbing out of a swimming pool.
Literally, it's sort of like climbing out of a swimming pool. There you go. Take that. Like an eagle hook. Like this, you hook it around and you literally feel it. When you go in, I described it to Mum and Dad last night, kind of like, Jack, you know those mailing systems? Like you sort of put something in the mail thing and you put it in that little tube.
Like
and
at
it goes-
Woolies, they have
Hey,
them.
hang on a
They
second.
put the cash in and
Dave
it sucks it
Sigley,
up.
Dave, you dirty dog. You knows what it's all about.
Dave knows.
Look at Gav laughing over there.
I'm picturing like an Adam West 60s sitcom where he's swinging like those hooks over the ledge to climb up, like that sort of thing. Is that
oh,
right?
yes.
Grasping.
No, that's not what I'm talking about at all. So it's sort of like
Unless it was in CERN
at
or
a
something.
post office. Like they'll be shipping to take it to a container and they'll pop it in like a tube and the tube's like vacuum sealed
Yeah.
and it goes and it sucks it in.
Wow.
Literally, when you put the anti-inflam in and you start removing your finger and the anus starts to close over the anti-inflam, that's the feeling. You can literally feel it go, and it
Wow.
just gets sent off into the lower
Like,
stomach.
that almost makes me want to try it.
I'm telling you, that is the closest description you will ever get to what it feels like.
I mean, we might want to say we were watching. What was
Dave's
the movie
nodding
we were
along.
watching?
Dave-
And where does it go, Coop? Where does it go? It just goes
Deeper
into
in the anus,
universe?
I'm imagining.
it just goes deeper into the stomach, and then it'll evaporate. The anti-inflam will evaporate in there.
Is that a better, like honestly, is that a better way to take anti-inflammatories?
It's
and
better for
antibiotics?
you.
It's less harmful on the stomach lining.
It bypasses the stomach line. So like,
Okay,
yeah.
vitamin C's, like we're talking, the ones you put in those ones we got up there.
Yeah,
Could that be
absorbic
the
acid.
same?
Oh,
Just put it in under your tongue, Matt.
Dad, you can't.
Seriously.
Oh,
Don't
mate.
overcomplicate
So hang on a
it.
second. I'm putting it in my backside, pulling it out, and then under my tongue. No, thank you.
That's the problem. You can't just put any, like, they have to be specialised pills for the anus. So
Yes.
make sure they discriminate. Not discriminate. They don't discriminate.
The shape, they're almost a
pills
bit.
do not discriminate. It's shaped like a bullet.
Yeah.
So it's a pointy end.
So that makes sense.
I had
tried
an
to put a
enema
couple of-
before I had you, Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Jack, what have you been doing this week? Any arseholes or enema talk? Anything like that?
Nothing like that. Nothing really crazy. We came back from coughs over the weekend. I was sending, on the plane back actually, I was sending, you know how we've just had this discussion about airdropping and
Yeah.
changing your name?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was airdropping pictures of Dog the Bounty Hunter to many people on the plane.
I love that.
There's
dude.
nothing gives me more joy than looking around at people that don't know who are getting messages sent to them from a random name, and they've got Dog the Bounty Hunter. Their head just sticks up out of their chair and
Yeah.
just looks like around.
Oh, I love it.
Anything else from your week before we move on?
Oh, Gav, our producer,
Oh yeah.
had a major win with his daughter's netball team. Congratulations,
Well done,
Gav.
Gavin. All that
13
screaming on the sidelines finally paid off.
13-0, and little Gracie got 6 goals.
Wow.
Wow.
All that discipline.
Way to go, Gracie.
Who said
What kind of
threatening kids
discipline?
doesn't work, hey?
That's a bit
That's
special.
awesome. Well done, Gav.
Tough love. Well done, Gav. All right, we're going to roll straight into Cooper's Nasty Review then.
Okay.
And this one...
I love the fact you're throwing to your own segments.
Yeah.
We should put a little intro song to this segment, honestly.
Sting, I think it's called in radio terms. Thanks, Gav.
Thanks, mate. This one is about our good friend Scott Drinkwater, great friend of the
Drinky.
podcast, Drinky. He was on Sunday Ticket on the weekend. Me and Jack were watching, and I put up a story of him because he looked so out of place amongst Braith Anasta, Corey Parker, and Greg Alexander, who were being very cynical on that show on the weekend, bagging some players and Drinky sort of just sat there. Mind you, after being beaten by 66 points the night before by the Tigers. So I'm pretty sure he didn't want to go on there, but he happened to. And I had a couple of negative messages to me about Drinky from a person. So let's just roll
Someone
into
that
this
you
one.
both know.
No, this is from a random.
His suit looked overly big on it.
Well, they don't worry. They refer to that in this.
Talking heads.
As if being flogged by 60 from the Tigers wasn't bad enough for the kid, but the team in at Fox League also had Stevie Wonder dress Scott Drinkwater. Because if you watch it, honestly, he looks like a dodgy lawyer.
Oh, no.
Where it's
Dennis Danuta.
It looks like an old Gil from The Simpsons that has the used car salesman.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Who's that? Not your best.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, mate, we had Ruben Cotter on as well. Poor old Ruben. And mate, tell you what, he's a great guy, Ruben Cotter. And you think that Brandon Smith is thick and built like a block of cheese. I've never seen someone so thick as Ruben.
Let's roll into Jack. Jack's got a new little segment. He's been demoted from 10 to 1 to a 5 to 1. So, Jack, why don't you roll into that?
Yeah. Well, funny you say that, Coop. I've gone with top 5. Cooper Johns has a playlist called Sad Sundays. It's a little bit... It's a little bit depressing, and I thought, let's go 5 of the most surprising songs in that playlist.
Oh, I love it,
excellent.
Jack. Good hit back.
give us it.
Yeah. So number 5 is How to Save a Life by The Fray.
I love that song.
Just context for Sad Sundays. This is a playlist made for people who have had a tough week or had a tough weekend, and it's sad stuff that can bring on sad emotions.
Sad Mondays and sad Tuesdays too, huh, bro?
Number 4 is Little Wonders by Rob Thomas. If you've ever seen the animated movie Meet the Robinsons, Cooper's taken it straight from that.
It's actually a good song. Just
Let me
quietly.
tell you right now, you're at rock bottom when you listen to Rob Thomas.
Hey,
Nothing says rock bottom.
Let me tell you, before this podcast, I saw Cooper upstairs watching Madagascar. He does love an animation.
Yeah, I love it.
And it's a good movie. Me and Dylan watched it last night. It is underrated.
Yeah.
How old are you guys?
Also, Cobber, does that rule apply to when he's with Santana?
Yeah,
Oh.
yes, Carlos as well. He
Carlos
dragged Carlos
Santana.
right down. Carlos Santana's never been the same.
Damn. Number 3 is one of the real dodgy songs of all time, "Chasing Cars" by Snow Patrol.
Also like
makes
that.
you really sad.
You sad sack.
Look, I'm going to take the blame for 2 of those songs. I think I've infiltrated his mind as a child. All those trips to and from school, playing those songs.
McLovin.
Sorry.
That was McLovin when he died.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah.
I was very upset.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't
These last
McLovin.
two,
it was
I
the
don't
other
even
dude.
know, but the name and artist of this song just surprised the hell out of me. The One That Got Away by Katy Perry.
Oh, nice.
You sick
Oh,
piece
my
of
Lord.
shit.
You're blushing, darling.
I just don't know. I don't know what stage of my life I was in when I was listening to that.
What do you think's number 1, Coop?
I don't know. There's some low shit on there.
Well, number 1 is Please Don't Leave Me by Pink.
Oh.
That's actually a good song. And it's very fitting because it's also how I feel all the time.
Oh.
Thanks, guys.
Jack, next week,
Now
can you
he's
do
really
his
sad.
playlist before games? Because I've stumbled on a couple of those songs. And
There's some ABBA in there.
Yeah, Dancing Queen doesn't sound to me like the sort of song that gets you in the mood for body contact sport. Maybe it does.
It's funny that you say that, Jack, because I remember Sunday I was up in Newcastle, and on Sunday we've got a playlist called Sad Sundays, but actually on Sunday, myself, Jack, Dylan Lucas, Jack's roommate, and Kalen Ponga went down to Merriweather Beach, and we listened to that exact playlist for an hour and a half, and we all sung it out loud.
Oh, there you go.
So-
And now he's
Sunday.
decided to put shit on me when we were all sitting there depressed on Sunday doing the same
I
thing.
was on my phone in the back.
Oh,
I imagine that Caitlin had quite a sad Monday as well, but let's just leave that one alone. Yeah.
We're going to go to a break, I think, Big M.
Yeah, we are. Let's go to a break. When we come back, what have we got, Coops?
When we come back, we got pop culture, we got the quiz, we got hot or not, and we got a predicament. Stay tuned. Thanks for those messages from the ads. It's always good to hear them. Now we're into pop culture. Trish,
Flawless return. Honestly, you're no Ray Hadley, mate.
now this week I saw on social media in Brooklyn there is an actual naked comedy show.
Wow.
So comedians are standing up. They're sold out. Crowds of 75 people, so it's only a small
75
area.
people, they do it in a cupboard, do they?
I don't know. But the comedians, stand-up comedians, literally deliver their skits in the nude. How'd you go with that, Matt?
Oh, yes, you
Or
know,
that
kill
could
it.
be quite funny in itself, right?
What's that? Do you want me to do...
what could be funny?
You're just standing there in the nude.
Yeah. I get it.
You get it?
Oh, yeah, I get it.
What?
Yeah, so,
Tiny penis.
yeah, teeny tiny.
Hey, listen.
Teeny
Listen,
tiny
I've
penis,
never-
saggy balls. Raw.
Hey, listen. Hey, it's not funny, Gav. Dave, stop laughing. It's not a teeny tiny penis. I went by the nickname at Newcastle Thunder Knob.
Oh.
Righto. In fact, a bloke named a horse after it. Righto. A horse trainer. There's a horse running around, I swear to God. Because
Yeah.
the boys run me and said,
Yeah.
mate, have you seen that horse? They said one of the Newcastle trainers named their horse Thunder Knob. So, it's, yeah.
Matt, you seem to be defending it a little bit too powerfully.
I'm protesting too much. But listen, I cop shit with the tiny hands. But please, Trish, give me a rap.
Please.
Do you know, and in interesting news, I'm off to Sicily in a couple of weeks.
Sizzler?
Did you say
They've all
Sizzler?
shut down.
How
Sicily.
good Sizzler?
However,
Some cheese bread for me.
bloody Mount Etna started to spew ash today.
Oh, really? What, she hungover, is she?
No,
Oh, it's a
she's
mountain.
spewing
I thought you said Aunt
in
Edna.
Sicily, and some of the flights were
Margie's.
cancelled into Sicily. So, like, guys, I might get there and then not be able to get home. Would you be okay with that?
or
one?
even, or better yet, it erupts.
One of those nice Mediterranean men, eh? With big tossels.
I remember the last time I got stuck in Bali.
Oh,
because of
God,
the-
I'm glad you said stuck in Bali. I thought you were going to say something else then.
when that was the time I went on schoolies for Cooper, but Cooper didn't go.
Great year that year.
And the bloody volcano there erupted, and they weren't letting any flights out.
Wow.
I had to travel by sea and boat and get myself to Java to fly out from
You
there.
had to island hop and you end up in Vanuatu, then flew straight back.
Brandon got stuck in Bali one time. I remember him telling me. He got stuck over there, couldn't travel back, and he got back like a day before pre-season, like just in time.
Yeah, it would have been about then.
Oh, it might have been the same year then.
Because some people were delayed like 3 weeks.
Might have been the same year. And then he was so overweight because he'd just been in Bali the whole time. He'd planned to come back like 2 weeks before so he could do some last minute training, and I don't think he ended up doing anything. Yeah, and he had his best year. Do you have anything else yet? Pop culture?
No, that's it. There wasn't a lot I picked up. What about
That's
anyone else?
cool.
Did anyone else pull their finger out and do anything?
Jack, you got anything? You've usually got your finger on the pulse.
Look, I got my finger on the pulse in certain aspects of certain things. Let me have a quick look right now. I've got a little...
No,
Hey,
let's not waste our time on you looking.
Can I just say, Cooper, if I bought Mamma Mia's coming back to Sydney, being an ABBA lover, if I got us tickets, would you like to go?
What is it, a musical?
Yeah. Mamma Mia, the musical, like the film.
Hide now.
Is it basically the exact same as the film?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But all the music of ABBA, okay, done.
Mel
Yeah.
Streep and Pierce Brosnan coming out for it?
I wish.
Or Brosnan?
Or they don't have the same actors.
Nah. He's not much of a singer, Piers.
I think we're on predicament of the week.
Oh, yeah. Okay. My predicament of the week's this, guys. This is a good old-fashioned put yourself in my shoes, right? I cop a bit of crap for this, but let's just see what you want to come up with and see if I had another alternative. Okay, you're driving in a busy street. You're on the way to an engagement 30 minutes away. You're desperate for a leak. There are no
Again.
toilets. there's no water bottle? Do you, A, piss your pants and become the lifelong joke amongst colleagues? B, pull over, urinate in public and get arrested and charged with indecent exposure? Or C, slip off a cowboy boot and urinate in it and then clean it out later?
Oh.
Which one do you do?
Easy. The cowboy boot.
Thank you.
But are they your only options?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, what else do you do?
Yeah, what else?
I would argue option B. You can get away with option B if you're a bit careful.
Well, if you're in a secluded
No,
place.
but I would not say that. I would not take the risk.
No.
You wouldn't take the risk. So, guys, as you guys have always tried to take the high ground on this, there you go. That's what I was faced with when I turned into piss and boots. And there you go. I will, granted, I should have washed out the boots and put them in the boot and forgot about it for a few days. I thought it
They
ran.
did, and luckily they
thought
did.
it
Can you give us the suburb, Cobber?
Yeah, St. Ives.
St. Ives. Yeah.
Oh, mate, there's
And-
so much opportunity there, mate.
And
No,
wait.
not really.
And
Service
wait.
stations?
And wait. And Brookvale. I did it twice.
Oh,
Hang on,
Brookvale.
that's just inexcusable.
Mate, Brookvale's not far from home, love.
Yeah, I
Wait,
know. I know.
were you driving while you're doing this?
Oh, no, he pulls
No,
over.
mate, I'm not sick. No, I pulled over and I get there and I look down like I'm changing the radio dial and just it's good aim. And I dip it in. And Brookvale was on the way to your game against the Bulldogs and I'm sitting in the car and I'd parked so far away and I had panic attacks because as you get older, as I said last
my
week,
God.
and I just went, oh mate, I started panicking. I went, I won't be able to make it. There might be a big lineup to get in. So I just grabbed the old boot again, swung it over, and away she went.
Actually, there's nothing worse than when you're at a bar and you know you got to go, but you're just sort of sitting there dilly-dallying, and then you get there and you realise there's one toilet with a massive lineup, and you're going, I've really got to go.
Shocking feeling. Fletch
Well,
once.
be a
ever had-
girl,
have you ever-
like there's no toilets.
Yeah.
There's usually
Yeah,
very
that's
few.
right.
True.
Remember we used to go out and there'd be massive lineups and oftentimes I'd go into the boys.
I'll just usher you in.
Yeah.
It's
ridiculous.
Have you guys ever had to do a poo at a nightclub
No.
or a pub or any?
Oh, yeah, go to the toilet. I do it all the time.
Ew.
At a pub, like if you're down. At
I
the
mean, in the
Colorado-
toilet, not on the floor or anything like that.
No, I'm not saying it's
But out, you're saying
Yeah,
out.
but like if you were down at the Colorado and you had to poo, you wouldn't come home for it. You just poo there.
Yeah, that's why they got toilets there.
No. Okay, I was just wondering.
What, don't you like to poo publicly?
Oh,
Oh,
don't
that's
mind.
right. You would never poo at school. You would hold on all day.
Yeah, well, that was at school.
That
but
was a-
I've
that was
grown
a
out
skill.
of that. Like I've done poos at nightclubs and stuff. We're in a new segment actually. We got Jack's. Jack's actually fancies himself as quite a good cook.
Well,
Yes.
hang on a second. You and Kenna gave him a massive rap.
Yeah. He cooked a pepper green veal schnitzel. Was it, Jack?
No, it was just veal.
Veal in a pepper
Peppercorn sauce.
Peppercorn
by the sound
sauce
of it.
with some potatoes and stuff, and it was delicious. And it obviously got the juices flowing for our fearless leader Big M, and he's dealt Jack another segment here. It's called Jack's Recipe of the Week.
Now,
Jack's-
nice, concise
so
recipe.
Jack's recipe of the week. And what he's going to do, people, is going to do a recipe. We want you people to go away, cook it up, and report back to Trish and tell us what you think. Take it away, good man.
Well, I actually tested this one out. It's a quick 30-minute dinner. We did Mongolian beef with brown rice, quinoa, and broccolini.
Wow.
Wow. How do you do the Mongolian beef, like the sauce? And how do you cut the beef for our listeners?
Well, I think Dylan grabbed us some sirloins earlier in the week that were in the fridge, so I cut them up across the grain, of course, and then chucked them in the wok. Then chucked them in with, cooked them up whilst they were with some onion, and then after they were sort of looking all right, browned up, I chucked in some soy sauce, bit of ginger, bit of garlic. I don't really, for listeners out there, I don't really do measurements. I just sort of taste it, and if it tastes decent, that's good enough for me.
Gut feel.
And then instead of brown sugar, I chucked in a bit of honey with it, and then
Nice.
there we go. And then poured that over the rice and broccolini, and that was my simple dish. Took me 25 minutes.
Wow.
There you go, people. Because let me tell you, as the food organiser in a household, one of the most frustrating tasks of the week is what to cook for dinner.
Well, try eating your
and we
food.
always are, we're sucked in. And whenever you ask anyone, they go, "Oh, I don't care," but they care when they don't like it.
Given the fact that I'm usually the only one in the house, That was a little shot at me. No, I don't care.
Yeah.
No, Cooper too.
Yeah. Well, last night Trish said to me, "Oh, how about I cook Nan's pasta for you with some omelets?"
I don't speak like that.
Yes,
And
you
I
don't.
didn't mention omelettes at all.
Well, she said, "How about I cook Nan's pasta for you tomorrow night?" And I thought that'd be so good. Big day of training. I would love to come home and have my favourite meal. Anyway, I come home this afternoon and she's got chicken in a sun-dried tomato sauce. And I feel
Betrayed.
it just looks shit.
You can have it tomorrow night. That's fine.
It's
Don't
like
have it.
salmonella.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks. Trish, I think we're on your segment now, by the way. What do you make of this? Go on.
Okay, well, a couple of weeks ago now, a woman was found after being lost in the bush for 5 days. She actually survived on wine and lollies.
Wow.
That's not too
What
bad
was
to
she-
be stuck with.
How do you get stuck with wine and lollies?
Well, she was in her car. So she had a car and she got lost in the bush and she couldn't get... how she got lost, I don't know. But she got found 5 days later. She stayed in her car. That's how she didn't die of hypothermia or anything. And she happened to have wine and lollies in
Well,
there.
Trish, I think in Italy during World War II, correct me if I'm wrong, when the water was contaminated, a lot of people were drinking wine. Is that correct? I think your mum and dad told me that.
I don't know.
Like you're a child, you were given wine.
Well,
Yeah, I was given wine
Is
as
there
a child.
parts? Is there part of wine that has water in it? Like, is it water?
Well, it
at
would
all?
be a
Well,
water
it's grape.
base. Yeah.
Well, it's grape based.
Well, given the fact, like,
No, I don't think you add water.
Like, there's no water at all. There's no H2O in it at all.
Well, there'd be a percentage of water, as there is in most things.
Yes, but
Word.
not added water. Like
no. I'm not talking about added water, but is there an element of being hydrated whilst drinking it? Could you survive off it for the rest of your
no,
life?
because
Ooh,
alcohol actually
dehydrates.
dehydrates you.
Oh, okay.
yeah. But, mate, well, I mean, the proof's in the pudding. She survived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And lollies. So
Yeah.
she's got a sugar.
Well, lollies are glucose. If they're good, the good type of lollies that I'm thinking about, they've got glucose
Well,
in them, which is
marathon
good for
runners, you see them when they run, they're just popping lollies
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, just grapes, yeast, and usually sulfur dioxide as the preservative.
There you go.
yeast.
I didn't know it had yeast.
Yeah, weird. Anyway, there's a joke there. No one's going to say it.
Yeah.
No,
Unless
that's
it's
right. We
Miss
did it
Ella.
last week. Let's keep away from that one.
Go on,
Talk
one.
old yeasty jokes. Nah, let's do it.
Now, was that mouldy?
No, that was mouldy.
Yeah.
But there's been yeast jokes before, and they're all true. So they're not really jokes. Dad, hot or not?
Okay, hot or not. Firstly, I'd just like to say this, Jack and Coop. I said to you last week that mullets are disappearing like snow in the rain. The shaved crop top. People, it's hot. I'm not even going to question hot or not. It's hot.
Sorry, what's a shaved crop top?
Like a shaved
Short
head.
on the top and then kind of like faded.
It'd be like a number 4, even on top. Like, there's no length at all and shaved on the side. People, honestly, trust me, go with it. I'm sensing a lot of it. In fact, I saw Jack's roommate Dylan in the background who had a glorious, I would
Mullet?
say, a mullet, Ruben Cotter style. And would you say he's got the crop top now?
Yes, very similar to Cooper Johns. I would say the crop top is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And looks smart too. Okay, the other hot or not. Now, they're doing a remake of Cinderella, which is coming out, but it's been remade into an R-rated slasher film in the theme of like Saw, where the ugly stepsisters are cutting off their own feet to try to put the feet in the slipper, and birds are pecking their eyes out. It was described, some death scenes have been described as truly horrific. Hot or not.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Is this an
it's
animation?
true. There was a Winnie the Pooh one brought out not long ago as well.
What?
Hot or not?
Oh, not.
Hot, in my opinion. Give
Do
the
you know what?
kids
I
a real
kind of-
taste of the real world.
I kind of like the idea of the ugly stepsisters, like nasty stepsisters, cutting off their own feet, or
Yeah.
toes, or whatever to get
Slip
into
it in
those,
there. Yeah.
into Cinderella's shoe.
Jack, you're the deciding vote, hot or not?
Huh, if you think it's hot, Cobber, hot.
It's hot. Okay, last one for hot or not. Iconic wrestler, Andre the Giant, all 7'4" of him, once had a plane load of passengers screaming, vomiting, and passing out after going to the toilet during what fellow wrestler Brutus Beefcake described as the world's largest, most disgusting shit.
I
Hot or not?
I just
Not.
I think, first of all, I think it's hot. But second of all, how does someone like Andre the Giant fit into those tiny airplane toilets?
There was a documentary about him, and it was really tragic. It showed the pain he was constantly in. Mate, he used to have sometimes a carton. They'd come back like 12 bottles of wine for him after he'd wrestle and just knock him back.
Yeah.
He once fell on a guy in a hotel foyer, and they had to like bring in the fire brigade to get him off.
I just meant I understand all that, but I asked how does he fit in?
in
How
the
does he
train
fit into
and
an
a
airplane
plane.
toilet?
Yeah, they reckon there was grunting and the noise is coming out of the toilet. Hot or not, Jack?
Oh, hot.
Yeah, it's hot. Coops?
I said hot.
Yeah, and Trish said not.
No.
Yeah. How about we take a really quick break, and when we come back, the podcast continues.
Welcome back to the podcast. Thanks for those nice messages. Dad, what do we got next?
Oh, that's a better pick up out of the break, Hadley. Good one, Bolts. Well, Coops, how about do your Cooper's quiz?
Oh, yes. I can see that on the rundown. Let's do that. This one is going to be a geography-themed one. We know Dad loves geography. So I'm going to name a country. First to buzz in gets to pick. They have to say the capital city. And for a bonus point, I'm going to be keeping tally, and whoever wins at the end, you name something this city's famous for. It can be a food. It can be a heritage site there. Or it can I'll even accept if you have a creative other thing, like if there's a song named after it.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to go. Get your buzzers ready. Argentina.
But
Yep.
it is Buenos Aires, and don't cry for me, Argentina.
Boom. Okay, 2 points. Dad, very good work, Jack.
Evita as well, and
Monterey.
Diego Maradona.
Let's get
Yeah,
more points.
that's
Jack is a little bit delayed, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Trish, no excuse. Jack, get ready. Australia.
beep. That's me.
Yep.
Obviously, Canberra is the capital of Australia.
Yep.
And kangaroos. That's what
Okay,
we're known
nice.
for.
Well done. 2-2. Going into the third one.
Well, Joe, I'm sorry you had to see that, people. Sport the myth.
Let Jack have
Let,
first crack.
let Jack first crack.
Okay, here you go, Jack. Germany.
Buzz. It is. What did they? Was the bloody? What they split down the middle with bloody the Soviet Union Berlin Wall? Berlin.
Yes,
Yeah.
nice. And what's it famous for?
Berlin Wall.
Yes.
Nice. Well done, Jack. All
Nice
right,
one.
2 apiece. 3 more to go. Hungary.
Yep.
Yep.
The capital is Budapest,
Yep.
and it is famous for the chain bridge across the Danube.
Okay, nice. Why'd you say it? Budapest.
Because that's how
That's
the proper pronunciation of how Hungarians say
And it's
it.
hungry.
Turn a phrase like
Not hungry.
Spaniards say Barcelona,
The Barcelona.
and the Hungarians finish ush.
Okay, that's funny. Okay. Thanks. Just one word answer.
Speaking of hungry,
Scoop.
I am quite
Okay.
hungry.
Keep it down, John.
Get
Yeah.
ready. Canada.
Buzz.
Yeah.
It is Toronto.
No.
Ottawa.
Oh.
Ottawa.
Bing. Ottawa. I knew we would
And
get used.
it is famous for Canada is the great Wayne Gretzky.
Yes, nice. Well done. Last question. Austria.
Bing, Vienna,
Yep.
Mozart.
Oh my God! Wow. Clean sweep. Well done, Big M.
Yeah.
Here he is. Do your victory lap.
You've got him. Yeah, nude.
Tallies ended up 8, 2, and 2.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well done. I don't know.
We let little Matty have his moment.
Little.
You be careful. I'm going to pull little Matty out and just dispel the myth. Okay.
We got any more feedback before we
Yeah.
go?
Apparently, remember how I was talking about being chased by the wanker in Newcastle?
Yeah.
And that
Shame
was
on you,
like,
Steve Crow.
that's like 30 years ago. Apparently, I got a message from a girl. She said there's still a wanker. And I didn't name where that had happened to me. And there's a wanker at Dixon Park car park every day, apparently, because some guy in his car wanking. Authorities, get onto that.
Yeah.
Is that where?
That's just not going to... That's... Yes. Well, it was in between Dixon Park and Bar Beach.
But he's doing the privacy of your own car.
No. He needs to go and he needs to be locked up.
Well, is it?
What's that song, Cooper and Hall Pass? when he's in the car and the coppers see him pleasuring himself in the front seat.
Best of times sticks.
The best.
Tonight's the night we'll make history. And he's in there masturbating, he's closing his eyes. And the cops, the lady cop comes up and starts laughing and then grabs her partner and they're just sitting there with the flashlight laughing at him.
Is that Owen Wilson's character?
Nah, that is
Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis.
I love Jason Sudeikis.
He's very good, isn't he?
He's funny.
Any more feedback, Trish?
Do you know, getting lots of feedback about Matt's interview with Mick Fanning this week. It was on Monday.
Well cut up, Gav. It was good.
Yeah, really good.
He's awesome.
He's
Mick
got
Fanning.
great stories.
Great. Isn't it funny how he's been approached numerous times to turn his life into a movie?
Has he?
Yep. But he said that his family's gone through a lot, and family members went and said, "Mick, not yet." No.
Yeah, that might be a bit harsh for everyone.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of tragedy. Are we done?
I think that, unless there's any tips.
I've got one tip.
Yep.
People, if you want to save on your weekly groceries, replant the end of your shallots. You'll be growing your own shallots in a heartbeat. It's too easy.
So we just put it in the
You literally
ground?
put it in the ground and it'll just take off. And you'll have your own shallots.
There you go. Or the
Just
other
make
thing,
sure the roots are there and dig it down a bit.
Or the other thing you want to
It's
do.
too easy.
That's really going to save us, Trish. Thank you very much.
That is
People will
awesome.
appreciate
well
that.
done today. I
Appreciate
think that's
that.
a good podcast.
Shallots are one of those things that you don't need until you need them. So if you've got them in your own little pot or garden,
I think
so
we've
much
said
better.
a lot about shallots. Jacko, well done today, mate. I've been sitting here observing. You get the man of the match. Go well, keep well, sleep well.
Love you, Jack.
God bless. God bless you.
And if you haven't joined us in the 3 hours, you're gonna need a note.
Mr. Hadley won't be happy with that. He doesn't like you
He's all right,
pinching his
Boltsy.
things.